So we bring up a web browser, and we go to the URL telview.boisestate.edu. You can see it's already in the URL bar. And this only works on campus. You can't get to here if you're not on campus. That's something else to know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's a thing we set up.
Okay.
So you can only program from campus. And then the user for you guys is PSG user. And the password is very similar.
The same?
Okay, so this is the console. When you talk about it, we call it the TileView Hypercaster console. What this is the console that controls our Channel 95 playout system. The playout system is where we load all the content into, and then we create the playlists and how it plays and when it plays from here. So the console starts across the top. You'll notice it says TileView, and then, this is important, the date. Now, it pulls its date from the BSU server. So I've set it so it's pulling time from the BSU server. So it should be synchronized with all of our systems. In fact, to make this really tight, our switcher and stuff should be synchronized to BSU time also, so that when we do switches from the switchers back to Channel 95 when we're doing live events, that they switch in time based on the same clock.
Okay.
We'll get there. Now we look down below that in our tabs. We've got dashboard, content, tasks, programming, program guide, report, and config. From this view, you guys can't get to config. And reports, we'll discuss that in a bit. Program guide is an outward-facing program guide. It's kind of like the TV guide. And it's generated from our programming. The important ones are programming, content, and dashboard. Now currently we're in the dashboard view. If you look down here, this part is not real important to you guys. What is important is the channel. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels on this playout system. This channel, BTV Cable 95, goes to Cable 1, or at least it will. Right now it's just going to the website. So this ultimately is going to the website, but it's what's playing now. If we look in the what's playing, we can see that Karl Mack Spring 2013 is playing. It started at 3 o'clock and ends at 4:17 and 4 seconds. And we can see that it's got another 45 minutes to play based on the clock up here.
This is so much better than VCRs.
And we can see what's playing next is Rose Beal, and it shows it starts at 16 is 4. It starts at 4:30 exactly. Okay, so that's just interesting there. The only part that you're ever going to use this for,
12-minute, 56-second gaps.
there is a gap also, and I'll show you how to view the gaps in a second. The stop. If we needed to stop what's playing right now so we could emergency pop something in, this is the fastest, easiest place to stop something. And before we leave here,
Emergency broadcast.
like an emergency broadcast of some sort, the best place to stop it is
Amber
right there.
alert.
Now there's a schedule and then the external schedule. The external schedule is important because we publish it on our website. And if you take a look, last night at midnight, which is when this day starts, we played a film called Vampire. Then at 1 a.m. we played a film called Destination Earth. Then at 1:30 we played a film noir film called DOA. Another film at 3, Duffy's Tavern, and so on until we get to 6 o'clock. We didn't have anything programmed at 6. But then at 6:30, UTP presents the Peralta documentary course. At 7 o'clock, UTP presents Rewilding the Native Hoop. At 7:30, we went ahead and played Club Sports Presents. The episode was Rugby Spring. And then we did Club Sports Presents Hockey at BSU, November 10th. And then at noon, we start with the lectures, Frank Church Conference, Spring 13. We had a random thing that I came in and programmed this afternoon just so I could watch it because I haven't seen it yet, The Bat with Vincent Price.
When it says no programming, what's up there right now?
I'm glad you asked. So let's say we go back here real quick and we just stop this. So I'm going to stop it. It's about a 16-second delay by the time, so it stops it instantly on the player.
But we're so close to it.
But the internet, it has a 16-second delay. Well, it actually goes to fiber pipe and then comes back here.
Yeah.
So our signal goes all the way to Meridian and then back here before we see it.
16 seconds is pretty fast though.
What it goes to is what's called the continuity. and they call it continuity. And here is our continuity. I built this
Nice.
yesterday. That is a half-hour loop. It's a half hour of music that doesn't repeat for a full half hour. And the photos are there's about, I think, 60 photos.
Why is there a delay on the audio kicking in?
It was probably just between songs.
Okay.
So when it kicks off,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't start at the beginning every time. It starts where it stops. So the next program comes on in 20 minutes or so. So this will end at that 20 minutes. Where it kicked off last time, the next program comes on, it picks up at that point. So you don't ever see like this continuous loop. So at the end of every program, you don't see the very same thing. So it always looks like we've got this endless loop of stuff going in the background. Now that's a real simple one. This could be video. In this case, it is just still shots because it was fast to build. It could be video. It could also punch into another one of our channels that we have programmed. So one of these other channels that we're not using right now, we could have a whole set of programs on that and then punch in our continuity. This is where it gets really interesting. One of these channels, we could program commercials. So between shows, that would pop off and commercial loop would start to run.
Okay.
So then it gets very
So-
interesting. Now I'm gonna.
What is this playing on 95 at all, or is it just on the website?
I'm still waiting for a call from these guys in New Jersey to hook up one last cable.
just plug it in.
One last cable, and this will be on 95.
Okay.
The content's ready to go, except you guys have to be programming while I'm away, because I've only programmed a couple days in advance. So here we go. Let's go right to the programming.
Is that all
Fourth,
the
last piece
transcoded
before we
stuff?
get there. Now, I think we'll address how to get content in a moment. Let's go right to programming. So this is a big programming console view. I don't like it. It's complicated. It's impossible to read. It's how it used to be done in the old days. We're just going to go to calendar view. This is way easier. It shows the day, and it has a time. It starts at midnight, and it goes all the way till midnight the next day. Okay, so it's a full day on one day. Over here on the left, you can see we've got all of our content, and we've got loaded in some 70 titles now. Okay. Let's go to a day that hasn't been programmed yet. So here's Thursday. I've already programmed Friday, and I've only programmed Saturday morning, just a little bit of Saturday morning. There are rules for programming, and I'm going to show you the rules for programming. I'm going to bring up another browser tab, and we're going to go to our channel, FPTV. Let's see if I can do it. Web host 08.fiberpipe.tv/live /UTP/live.html. Bingo. So we go to the programming guide, and these are the rules for programming. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories: classroom, special lecture, news, sports, arts and entertainment, and student picks. Okay, so let's go back here to this, and we look at our content. So at the time from, looks like about 6 o'clock to noon. So if we look back here, 6 to noon is classroom. Okay, I come here, I go to edit, advanced search, and my category is classroom. I click search, and now these are all the things I can program in that time slot. So I'm just going to drag them in, and I always want to program at the hour or the half hour, and then leave the spaces because we've got content to fill in the spaces.
Just drag and drop base.
Drag and drop, it auto times everything for you, and then auto calibrates the spaces between. Now let's say, for example, if you look here, I've got filter content for slot. So I've got this space between these shows. I could just leave that run, or I could filter the content for the slot, and you can see I've got these handful of shows that'll fit right in there.
Is that Raina?
Yep,
That's
24 seconds. It's a shorty.
Oh,
Apparently we need to delete that out because it's a bad one.
yeah,
So I go into modify because I need to take it out.
definitely.
I'm
That's
going to...
Only Pam talking. I wasn't sure how that one got out of there.
Let's see. Oh, I check it, and then I unschedule it.
Okay.
So it's unscheduled. Now, sadly, we've only got 4 shows that qualify to go in this time slot right now. We should be uploading more stuff all the time. And in fact, that's what you guys are doing is, Norman, what you're doing is getting that stuff from the library and putting it in here. And Susan's going to help you decide which category to go into. So I program them all the way up until noon.
Now, are you going to show us how to make sure we have it formatted?
Yep, I'm going to show you that next. But before that, I'm going to program in just a little bit more. So the afternoon is special lecture. So I go into advanced search, I select special lecture, search, and I have a lot more content here.
Why is there nothing starting at 11?
11 o'clock right there. I just didn't name it. It didn't get named.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I'm going to show you guys that we need to be editing and naming all the content. When it comes in, it does not get named. I've been labeling and branding and categorizing all this stuff this past week. Now, it gets even a little bit weirder. Some of these things, like you just saw, I programmed each of those programs for Classroom twice in the same day, on the same morning. We've got a bigger content here. Now, some of this stuff has played a lot, and some of it hasn't played at all. If I select one that I know has played a lot, for example, which one I know has played a lot? Hold on. This one's played a lot. I click on the title. I'm going to take a look at
That's
it.
what I was going to say. That was always fun.
And here's how many times it's played. Twice. Or this is how many times it's played recently. And if I come back here, I can look at some of these other programs that may not have played at all yet. In fact, this one hasn't played at all yet. So I know it's a good one to program. And what you want to do is, as you're pulling from this list, is a compromise between does it fit the category and how many times has it played. You always want to find the one that has played the least. And then starting at 6 o'clock, right down here, now we start programming the arts, entertainment, and sports. So again, we come up here, we do arts and entertainment and club sports. We've only got 2 club sports right now. Check it out. Hockey and rugby. 2 games. So we're going to go into the arts and entertainment because we got a fair amount of arts and entertainment. So then we can just drop these in and program until 10 o'clock. Okay, and then it gets fun because the student picks is where all the interesting content is. We go to student picks, and this is all stuff I've downloaded off archive.org. So most of these are, really antique sci-fi and horror films, and they're perfectly safe, but every once in a while, like Lady Frankenstein, I don't know what that is. Now, if we had an emergency, we needed to watch something, so I'm just going to click on this title. I'm going to do schedule, and I'm going to go play now, and because I want to watch it all, I'm going to do cancel conflicting events, save, and this is going to play now in 16 seconds. It's actually playing now, but we have to wait for the internet to catch up. So we do need to be checking these. Now, this content, like I said, if I search this all just by the category, advanced search, and I just do the category, student pick. Now, eventually on student pick, this is also where we're going to put all of our student projects. So from all the advanced course, the intro course, all that stuff is going to end up here. But right now, it's just stuff from archive.org. And like I said, I don't know about some of this stuff. The Japanese films I'm not worried about because I don't think they ever released anything X-rated for their monster films. All the Charlie Chaplin films I'm not worried about. But some of these color ones from the 70s I'm a little suspicious about. So we need to watch when we go to archive.org and browse. You guys been to archive.org? You know how to browse and pull down content?
Yeah, I think I've been there.
I'm going to show you real quick just in case.
Just do a super loop of Attack of the Monsters.
Super Attack of the Monsters? No.
So student picks is us picking, not actual students.
It will
voting
be.
in.
Eventually, that's where I want to take it. I want to go to the dorms, and we'll send
choices at Blockbuster.
We'll send a 2-person UTP crew to the dorms and say, hey, have you watched Channel 95? Did you know that you can pick films to watch on Channel 95? Here's a list of them. Which do you want to see tomorrow night? And let's put a little video on them, so capture them, we shoot it, and then we open up each of the shows with the students. So it'll be a lot of fun. I don't see it.
How did you get to that window?
So it's in content,
Okay.
and then import content, and then it's this. And anything, all of these need to be brought in. So I'm gonna grab one, I'm gonna do the Infernal Cakewalk. Okay, I click import, and when it imports, it says the Infernal Cakewalk imported successfully. Before I click anywhere else, I'm gonna go to edit. And here's where I have to name it. The Infernal Cakewalk. Now, if this were a TV show like UTP Presents, that's where that would go, and then the episode would go in the episode bar. Now here, this is really important. It has to be classified so that our searches work.
It failed. Sorry.
It'll fail the first time because it's downloading.
Okay.
So now I select student picks so that this movie shows up when I search student picks. So these three things have to be done every time. If we have one that has some extra black on it, like some of our old UTP stuff does, we'll need to view it, note how much black is on it, and then we'll trim that off. So if it were 10 seconds, we'd go in there and type in 10 to trim off the first 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then that first 10 seconds will never play. Or if it has an extra long run at the end that we don't want on here, we can trim it off the end. Click Save. And now it's in this system. Let's see if we can find the Infernal Cakewalk. Infernal Cakewalk. You guys see it? Ah, the Infernal Cakewalk. Now, what is this, Lady Frankenstein? Not really grabbing me. So, I'm going to schedule,
Anybody who's watching it, sorry.
play immediately, cancel conflicting events, save, and in 16 seconds we'll watch the Infernal Cakewalk.